Hey there, fellow foodies, I'm Nancy, and in this video we're diving deep into the heart of Valentin Imperial Riviera Maya's culinary scene. We believe that food quality and options are an important part of your all-inclusive holiday. Grab a seat because we're going to walk you through the menus and explore the highs and lows of Valentin's restaurants and bars. When we are planning a resort vacation to somewhere new, the number of restaurants, the different cuisines, food quality, as well as how the food and drinks are reviewed by guests goes a long way to narrowing down at which resort we will choose to spend our hard-earned vacation dollars. We recently returned from another week at Valentin Imperial Riviera Maya. Valentin has several bars and 7 restaurants for you to choose from. We've already made a video giving you an overview of the resort as well as the different suite options, and today we're getting into the culinary and beverage nitty-gritty. Okay, so let's talk about the food scene first at Valentin. If you are a foodie, you won't be disappointed. Valentin's 7 unique restaurants include food from the land and sea with cuisines from around the world. For breakfast, you have the option of Marche et Tierra for a la carte or Le Marche buffet. For lunch, you can choose to eat around the pools from either the Pool Bum food trucks or the Golden Pool lunch, or Le Marche buffet, which offers a different lunch cuisine each day of the week. You can get late afternoon snacks from the buffet from their a la carte menu, and of course, you always have the option of room service. For dinner, it gets more interesting as you can choose from 7 different restaurants with extensive menus and options. If you stay a week, it would be hard to fit them all into the schedule. Let's start with the beachside restaurant, Marche et Tierra. Valentin calls these 2 separate restaurants, Mar and then Tierra, but I'm calling the 2 as one. Marche et Tierra means sea and earth or land, and this restaurant offers a la carte breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was a fan favorite of our group, and we ate here for all 3 meals one day. Although it is open-air dining, there are ceiling fans and often a nice breeze coming off the water. I tend to run warmer than most people, and I did not find it oppressively hot in the restaurant. Mar was hands down my favorite breakfast spot. Lunch is also served here from 12 to 4. Now some of you may remember Raven from our bedbug video. She wanted to make sure that I shared a picture of her lunch burrito here with you. She says, and I quote, "A good burrito sitting outside near the beach in Mexico just hits different. Yum." For dinner, the Mar part of the menu focuses on fish and shellfish with culinary influences from New Orleans, Cajun, Veracruz, Peru, and the Caribbean. Tierra is exactly the same and the same menu, which is why I tell you it's more of a 2-in-1 than 2 separate restaurants. For dinner, Tierra focuses on American and Argentinian specialties. Libo is the option for Italian cuisine. The menu is what you would expect for an Italian restaurant, including handmade fresh pastas. Libo restaurant offers a relaxed environment in perfect keeping with their rustic Italian dishes. There are indoor and outdoor dining options. The beef carpaccio was delish. The Caesar salad was very heavy on the anchovies, so keep that in mind, however you feel about anchovies. The service for us was a miss at Libo. We ordered 4 courses for dinner, and all but our dessert was brought out at once with no room left on the table. So my soup and carpaccio arrived at the same time as my fettuccine, and it was just a big error in service. Libo is a hit among many Valentin guests. It was not a favorite for our group as a whole, but it was good, and I do understand why many people love this restaurant. L'Alsace offers French cuisine. It is a beautiful 2-story restaurant with an elegant staircase. It is the most formal restaurant on property. We enjoyed the food here, and if you watched our Valentin review video, you already know that L'Alsace was my second favorite restaurant. The French onion soup was tasty with a crispy top to crack into the bowl. The foie was combined with a tangy fruit foam. L'Alsace restaurant is a great choice for celebrating a honeymoon or an anniversary. It has a more formal dress code, which we will touch on later, and the high ceiling and beautiful chandeliers, as well as the elegant double staircase, fits with the more formal Parisienne atmosphere. Although it came in second, I still just love this restaurant. My favorite restaurant, and actually our entire team's favorite restaurant, was the Indonesian Taman Sari. Temansari is more Southeast Asian than strictly Indonesian. The food here was a surprise. They were excellent for quality, options, flavors, and service. From its wooden crafted door when you enter to the unique bar, the incorporation of the best of Asia into the design is gorgeous. They have a fantastic outdoor terrace if you want to dine al fresco. Temansari is often passed over by Valentin guests, and I think it is because they're not sure about the cuisine. And I'm here to tell you, don't miss it. If you're a bit nervous about Southeast Asian cuisine, my advice is twofold. Number one, remember you can always go to another restaurant for a second dinner if it turns out that you don't like this one as much as we did. And number two, try the ribs. I don't need to say anything more than try the ribs. My husband had to order a second plate of them because the rest of us kept sampling his ribs. The menu has bold flavors from Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand. And a pro tip from me to you is order the secret box for dessert. It is not on the menu. You won't find it. Just trust me.
Okay. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
This is the secret box. This is a tiramisu, sweet wonton, coconut cake, and mango sorbet. Okay,
Beautiful.
enjoy.
Gracias. Le Marche is an international cuisine buffet restaurant open for breakfast, lunch, and late afternoon snacks. To our group, it was the most disappointing restaurant on the property. I don't mean that it was bad, because it's not, but having been to many resort buffets, this one is just not up to par with their competition. It's open for breakfast and lunch as a buffet with the cooking stations that you would expect, and it reopens again from 4 to 6 p.m. if you miss lunch or you need a little something before a late dinner. The food was fine. It was kind of underwhelming in comparison to others. Le Marche is not air conditioned, but they do open up some of the seating from La Hacienda for air conditioning. When it's a hot day, those seats get taken up really quickly. Ginger is their Japanese restaurant specializing in different Asian dishes. You can experience 3 different types of dinners at Ginger. They have their sushi bar or their a la carte seating, and you can make a reservation for a live cooking show at the Teppanyaki tables. The seats at the sushi counter get taken up quickly, so if you want to try it, and I highly recommend that you do, you need to get there when they open. If you don't make the first seating, then you have a decent chance of putting your name in for a seat later in the evening. The ambiance reflects the beauty of Japan. I did live in Japan for a while, so if that food authenticity is what you're looking for, you won't find it. But I really did enjoy the flavors and combinations at Ginger. When we're at the sushi bar, I usually just ask the chef to surprise me with some of his favorites, and I'm rarely disappointed. La Hacienda is their Mexican restaurant that specializes in cuisine from Veracruz, Puebla, and the Yucatan. They offer traditional flavors, textures, aromas, and spices of Mexico. There is a view of the chefs in the open kitchen, and the outdoor seating area in the gardens is just beautiful. Pool bum food trucks at either end of the main pool offer identical menus of tacos and burgers and more if you don't want to leave the fun at the pool and go inside and get lunch. It was surprisingly good. Read the menu carefully, as the chicken burger ended up being more of an Indian-inspired curried chicken burger, which was a surprise when you think you're getting a simple chicken burger, but my own fault, I didn't read the menu carefully. The food truck food was actually delicious, and those guys are fast and hustling to bring it right to your chair. Funnily enough, we noticed that although the food trucks are the same and one is located at each end of the pool, the busy times were totally different. If one has a line, walk over the bridge and go to the other end of the pool, and more often than not, the line was much smaller. I have absolutely no idea why. There is a separate menu for lunch over at the Golden Pool. It is a totally different menu over there with salads, ceviches, and paninis. Be sure to try the lunch options at both pools during your stay. Café Sisal is their coffee shop with excellent coffee drinks, teas, snacks, sandwiches, and gelato. 2 pro tips for you. 1, the Wi-Fi is great in the coffee shop and fairly quiet to get some work done early in the morning. And 2, if you're grabbing a late night dessert and coffee before heading back to your room, you don't need to go to the lobby to request a golf cart. The staff will radio right from the coffee shop and one will meet you outside the door on the golf cart pathway. There are also a crepe food cart and a churro food cart that are great options when you want a sweet treat. And lastly, you can have room service. Room service was good. It does take some time, so be sure to order it an hour before you want it. Whomever took the room service order for us spoke excellent English. We were able to modify our order, such as no mushrooms or extra sauce, and it arrived exactly how we asked for it. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's usually a hit or miss situation at most other resorts. You don't need to make reservations for dinner, but there's a very good chance you will need to wait for a table, so be prepared to wait with a drink or 2 at one of the bars unless you arrive when the restaurants open. Valentin does not have an app yet. They are using a QR code system to access menus, activities, and the resort information. I put up the menus so you can see them. Just pause when you need to read because I know they go by quickly. I expect Valentin may be getting an app, but until they do, I hope the menus give you an idea of what the food is like here. Drinks are the most disappointing part of this resort. There are 2 swim-up bars, and we quickly learned to keep our drink orders very simple when ordering from these bars. If you are fussy about your drink quality, then you need to adjust your expectations for Valentin. Our drink orders from the swim-up bars were mixed up all week long, and it became a bit of a running joke comparing what we ordered to what we actually got. It was all in good fun and not really a big deal once we realized that cocktails are not their strong suit. The quality of the alcohol at the resort as a whole is mid-tier. I'll give you some examples. Whiskeys are red label, not black. Smirnoff or Absolute vodka rather than Grey Goose or Belvedere. Bacardi, not Appleton, and so on. The beers served while we were there were Dos Equis products, Coors Light, and Bohemia in some of the restaurants. The bar on the beach is good, and the swings are fun in their design. But we found the drink service on the beach to be slow. There's no boardwalks running the length of the beach, and the beach is very long, so it is understandable that it takes so much time for the servers to go back and forth in the sand. I highly suggest bringing a thermal cup to use if you're spending time on the beach. Give it to your beach server, and when they come back with your drink, the ice won't be melted. There are 2 bars where the mixology is on point, Don Miguel's and the Martini Bar. The drinks and service in Don Miguel's bar is exceptional, and we highly recommend grabbing a cocktail or 2 at Don Miguel's before heading to dinner. It is air-conditioned, and the cocktails are creative and have some artistic flair to their presentation. There are martinis bubbling with dry ice, there are blackberry bubbles, there are chocolate tapioca pearls, and more. They offered the best cocktails on the property, followed closely by the Martini Bar just off of the lobby. The Martini Bar has a ton of outdoor seating, and you can also go and sit inside the lobby area if you want air conditioning. The martinis are crafted very well here, as the name suggests. There is a nightly bar in the plaza area that we already showed you, and it is about the same level as the swim-up bars. The cognac bar was nothing special. We tried it once, but the cost of upgrading your cognac level was so significant that we didn't bother with it a second time. We would rather spend the money on a nice bottle of cognac at duty free to take home and enjoy and go back to Don Miguel's. Let's talk about dress codes. I know, boring, but Valentin has some strictly enforced dress codes, and I don't want you to be caught unaware. There is a daytime dress code and 3 different evening dress codes, so it's important to check the dress codes for where you plan to dine in the evening. The daytime is simple, in that you can wear dresses, shorts, jeans, t-shirts, whatever. You can even wear a swimsuit, it just has to be dry and with a cover-up. You're not allowed to bare feet into any of the restaurants anytime, and that's pretty normal. The evening is where it gets a little more in-depth. There are 3 dress codes according to the different restaurants and bars as follows. There is night casual elegant, and night elegant. I'm going to put them on the screen so you can read it for yourself. They do enforce the dress codes. Even the golf cart drivers who zip people to the various restaurants if you don't feel like walking will often ask which restaurant you're going to and then let you know if you are not dressed appropriately for that particular dress code. Many resorts have modified their dress codes to allow shorts and more casual attire everywhere. Valentin has not, and as far as I know, they have no intention of doing so. Everyone has their own opinion about dress codes, and I don't want to debate it in the comments. It is what it is, and I'm just letting you know. Some advice though, just remember if there's a wait at your chosen restaurant for dinner and you decide to go to a different one because there's no wait there, just double check that what you're wearing meets that restaurant's dress code. Guys, if you throw a pair of khakis, closed-toed shoes, and a golf shirt in your bag, and ladies a casual summer dress with some sandals, you can pretty much eat anywhere you want at Valentin, and I would say that the food is well worth having that option. Overall, we enjoyed our stay at Valentin. We had some issues while we were there that I touched on a bit in our review video, so I won't go into them again here, but most of us said that we would definitely go back. The food was second only to the amazing activities at this resort, and Valentin would be a good fit for couples or groups of friends. The drinks in the plaza and at the swim-up bars were disappointing, but Don Miguel's and the Martini bar were excellent and more than made up for it. If you watched our Iberostar Grand Overview video, I suggested that a split trip between the two resorts would be a nice idea if you were vacationing for a couple of weeks. Valentin and Iberostar Grand are only a few kilometers apart, and if you did a week at each, you would get the best of both worlds, the luxury and relaxation of the Grand, followed by the activities and party at the Valentin. Just a suggestion for my UK friends who visit this part of the world for 2 or more weeks at a time. For those who don't get that many vacation days in a row, you will need to choose. We hope that this video helps you decide if Valentin is a resort that you want to put on your shortlist. Unlike many of the AI-generated videos out there, we have actually been to these resorts. We give you unbiased reviews, we pay for our own trips, and the resorts never know that we make YouTube videos about our experiences. We try and pay it forward so that you can make an informed decision about your vacation choice because it's expensive and your vacation time is precious. If this type of content is of value to you, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the like button so that others can find this video. We really appreciate your support and we thank you. We will be back next week with more resort reviews, and until then, happy travel planning and keep embracing every imperfectly perfect moment. Bye everybody!